Hello students, welcome to yet another video. Today's video is about the subject business studies. Business studies is a very important and rather a compulsory subject. Anyone who takes commerce has to study business studies, okay? So I would request you to watch this video till the end. Okay. So in business studies basically you get to learn the basic concepts related to business. It is like the base of your commerce education, because in school there is not a single subject related to business or commerce. So whatever you study in future in commerce, this subject will act as the base. So it is very important that you try and understand and take interest in this subject, because if you don't take interest in this subject, then not only this, the commerce will not be interesting, right? So this subject tells you about very practical topic. Okay, whatever we are going to study, it has got all real life implications. You can relate it with the reality, okay, the business reality, whatever that exists. In today's video, I'm going to focus exclusively only on this subject. So what am I going to discuss? So I'm going to discuss about the business studies, the textbook that we are going to use, the syllabus, the class 11 syllabus of business studies, the marks distribution, okay, the exam structure, and what are the things, habits or skills you should have so that you can score good marks or you can increase your interest in this subject, right? So one by one we will see all this. Students, in your screen you can see the cover page of your business studies textbook. This is your NCERT textbook. Remember, there might be other books, those are reference book, but textbook bully kole, this is the NCERT textbook. This is the one we are going to use in our classes. This is the one we are going to use to explain you different concepts. You can easily buy the book, or if you're not finding it, or it's then you can easily download the book from the NCERT website. Okay, this is downloadable also, so you can easily download it there. Remember, this is, if we talk about the main book or the textbook, this is the one. Remember this, okay? Others are all reference book. So just see to it, okay, before you purchase. Now, let us explore what is there in the business studies syllabus of class 11. Fine. So, total there are 10 chapters. In your screen, you can see the first 6 chapters. So, the first chapter is nature and purpose of business. Here, you're going to understand very, very fundamental concepts, like what is business, what are the characteristics of business, why would anybody start a business, objectives of business, then what are the things you should keep in mind while starting a business. Okay, this is the basic idea you will get from where the business word is coming, everything. Okay, also you will have an idea of what was business like in the ancient times. You will learn about what are the different kind of activities that we do, human beings. All activities are not business activities. So you will it will also help you to identify which activities are actually business activities. Okay, then in the business activities, not everybody is manufacturing, not everybody is selling. So you will learn about manufacturing, you will learn about what are the things which fall under the trading category, what are the things which fall under the commerce category. So all this you will learn: industry, trade, commerce, about all these things, what are the different types of industry, all the basic elements of business. This is about your chapter 1. Chapter 2 will be forms of business organizations. Forms of business organization means there are many ways to set up your business. Some people, they alone set up their business, so they are sole proprietors. Some people, you and your friends might start a business partnership, or you might open a company form of organization, or there might be cooperative. Okay, so these are the different forms of business organizations. So we will learn the advantages and disadvantages of each of these forms. Okay, what are the positive points, what are the negative points about all these forms: sole proprietorship, partnership, company, all this we will learn, okay, in forms of business organizations. Number three is your public, private, and global enterprise. So public sector or the government sector. So there are many sectors which where the business is run by the government. Janike railways. Okay, so we will learn about those sector. Okay, those businesses which are held by the government, which are under the government. Okay, so that is your public sector business. Then the private sector, the general individuals, like you might have a shop, so that is a private business. And we will learn about global enterprises, money, the big companies, the multinational companies. Okay, what are the characteristics of a multinational companies? Heikine ami hikim janike global enterprise, maybe Google is a global enterprise, right? So all this thing we will learn in chapter 3, public, private, and global enterprises. So this is about your chapter 3. Right, then we go to chapter 4, which is your business services. In business services, what do we learn? So firstly we will learn about basics. What are goods, what are services, how goods are different from services, characteristics of services ki ki hobo, types of business services. It a business koribo jaote there are certain services we use, jeneke banking. Okay, we use banking services to receive money, to transfer money. We take insurance like fire insurance, marine insurance, right? We life insurance, all this we take. Then we will learn about telecommunication services, money, basically the phones, internet that we use, all these things we use for our business. So we're going to learn about that. Then we will learn about warehousing. Warehousing means where we store our goods. So these are different kinds of services which are used by businesses. So we are going to learn about each of the services in details. Fine. In chapter 5, emerging modes of business. So here the focus is basically online business, e-commerce. Okay, the Amazons, the Flipkarts. Okay, so we will learn about what are the different forms of e-business, how different is e-business from e-commerce. Okay, so all this we are going to learn in your emerging modes of business. What are the newer ways of doing business in this world today, since the world has gone totally global and digital? So we will learn about outsourcing here, we'll learn about BPO, call centers, all this thing we will learn about here. Then chapter 6, social responsibility of business and business ethics. Social responsibility of business mane, see, businesses, they are selling their goods to the society only. So obviously they have certain responsibility towards the society. Responsibilities in again to help set up, like in this crisis times, the many businesses are coming forward to to meet the oxygen supply or to set up a healthcare center. So all the social responsibility, how the businesses are also helping the society, how they can help the society apart from earning profits and selling goods. Okay, so all this we'll learn about business ethics that is, in order to do business you don't have to become illegal, you can be very fair and still continue to do your business. So that is your business ethics. So all this we are going to cover in this chapters. Okay, in this slide we see the remaining chapters. So the four chapters that are there. In chapter 7 you will learn about sources of business finance. So what are the various options that a business has, from where they can bring money? Every business needs money, so from where they can acquire that money, okay, from where they can raise the money. So that we will learn here, and the merits and demerits, positives and negatives of each of these sources we will learn. Number 8 is about small businesses. So small business, there are many kinds of small business. Okay, cottage industry, tiny units, so all this we will study here. How small business is helpful in a country, how they help the country to grow economically. In chapter 8 we will learn that. Chapter 9 will be on internal trade. Internal trade money, we are going to study about wholesalers, retailers, basically. What are the different kinds of retail stores? Departmental stores, chain stores. So all these are going to be a part of your internal trade. Retail sector, we are going to study here. Basically trade which we do within the country. So that will be internal trade. Internal trade. Okay. Then last chapter, finally chapter 10, is your international business. So international, that means how one country trades with another country. So we are going to study about export and import. What are the documents you need for exporting and importing? All this we will learn here. what are the different ways of entering international business, licensing, franchising, then joint ventures. All this will be a part of international business. So this is about your whole business study syllabus. Very briefly I told you. When we start the class, you will learn all this in details. I hope it excites you. So here, let me tell you something about your exam structure, your business studies exams, how what will be the marks distribution. So your exam will be of 3 hours and 100 marks paper, and also it's a full theoretical paper. That means you have to write. It's 100% theoretical paper. Okay. So that is your marks distribution. So you will have 8 questions of 1 marks, 5 questions of 2 marks, 5 questions of 3 marks, 7 questions of 5 marks, and 4 questions of 8 marks. So highest is your 8 marks. So total you do it's 100 marks, right? So this is basically a writing paper. You should be very uh, you know used to writing. You have to write a lot. So that you should be prepared for mentally. So this is about your marks distribution pattern. Before we begin the class, or before we start explaining the business studies lesson, let me tell you what are the requirements that you should have as a student, as a learner, to get some good score in this subject. Okay. So firstly, as you know, it's a theoretical paper, so you should not try to memorize things blindly. You should understand whatever we are going to explain you. You should try to বুজি পাব লাগিব. তুমি যদি বুজি নোপোৱাকৈ যদি মুখস্থ মাৰা, then that is going to, you're not going to able to handle this subject. So firstly you have to understand. Secondly, you have to read the text. So in class it is not possible to go line by line of every line that is given in your lessons. So it is your duty that after we explain you something, you understood the concept, at home you should open the text and read every line and try to get some extra ideas which maybe were not discussed in details in the class, so that you can add in your answer. Then obviously you have to remember the main points and the key words. What are the important words that I highlighted in the class, or the main headings? In business studies, whatever you write, you have to write it in points. You cannot write long paragraphs to explain something. You have to write it in points. If you write too lengthy paragraphs, you will not get marks. So you have to remember the headings, the points. Then your answer writing and presentation. So as I told you, it's a writing paper, theoretical paper, descriptive answers. You have to write answers of 8 marks and 5 marks. So you have to present your answer in a way that it makes us read your answer. You should underline it. It should be clean. It should be clear. I'm not talking about beautiful handwriting. I'm talking about a handwriting which teachers can understand, right? So that is very important. Your presentation should be good. There should be proper spacing. There should be proper underlining. Conclusion should be there. Introductions of answers should be there. You cannot just start an answer and just finish it. Okay. Then finally, time management. So as you know, it's a 3 hour long paper, but you have to write a lot. So you have to practice writing answers at home within limited time. Mostly the main complaint of every student of business studies initial days, they say that we were not able to complete the paper. But remember, the paper is designed that you complete within 3 hours. So what you have to do is write using timer. At home you have to practice, timer logai pine, you have to practice writing, that how quickly I can finish. You have to write, you have to increase your speed of your writing. You can't be slow, otherwise you will miss questions. So also to write fast, you should be very much clear about the concepts. তুমি এক্সামত গৈ যদি ভাবি থাকা যে এইটো কনচেপ্টৰ কি মিনিং হ'ব পাৰে, তেতিয়া আৰু হৈ থাকিল আৰু তুমি ভাবিয়ে থাকিবা, লিখিবই নোৱাৰিবা. Okay, so these are the few things which I would urge you to be prepared for before we start your classes, because these are the requirements. Now that you have signed up for commerce, তুমি যেটা commerce লৈছা, these are the things you have to practice and be good at if you at all you want to score good marks. Also, I would say students that in case we are going to have online classes, I don't know what changes will happen in the coming days, what government changes will happen. So I would request you that you try to learn how to use Google Classroom. You should know how to create PDF, okay, how to create PDF documents. So all this is information is easily available on the internet. Videos are there, you watch them and learn it. And for business studies, I'm telling you, you have to write very fast so you can practice writing. You can take a para from the book and try to see that how much time you take to complete that one para. So today if you take 10 minutes, tomorrow you try to complete it within 8 minutes, then 6 minutes, then 5 minutes. This is how. Okay? So all of you take plain papers only for business studies, plain papers, plain copies and ballpoint pen. No gel pen, nothing. Ballpoint pen. So these are the things, requirements that are there. Okay, so no single line copies, plain copies, I say this again. Okay, students, so I hope you have watched the entire video, and thank you for that. And you can purchase the book. So when we start the class, we will share some more details. Thank you, take care.